Hello students, welcome to CodeBright. Today we'll be having Scratch Lesson 1. Scratch is a block-based language geared that enables you to create your own interactive stories, animations, and games with music and arts, even if you have no coding experience. Now students, open up your Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. At the search bar here, type in Scratch. Ready? And press Enter. Scroll down and you will find this: Scratch, Imagine, Program, Share. Are you able to find this? Good. Now click onto this link and it will lead you to Scratch site. For students who do not have an account with Scratch at the moment, you may proceed to click the Create button here, and it will lead you to the Scratch Project Editor page. Click the Close button here on the screen tutorial box, and you are almost ready for the lesson. For students who have the account created, click the Sign In button. Your username and password should be ready for you to sign in. After signing in, click on the Create button and it will lead you to the Scratch Project Editor page. Now, all students' eyes on here and your screen should be down. We will do a walkthrough of the basics of Scratch. The Scratch user interface is the area on your screen where the Scratch program exists. The screen is divided into multiple sections or pins which have different functions, from picking blocks to code with, to coding, and to see your code in action. This is where we select our backdrop. Right now it is blank. To add a backdrop, move your cursor to this button. You will have 4 different selections to choose your backdrop. This magnifying glass enables you to choose a backdrop from a library in Scratch. This paint enables you to paint your own backdrop. Click on this surprise and you will have a random backdrop from the Scratch library. And this will allow you to upload an image from your computer as a backdrop. Now, we click on the magnifying glass and search for backdrops. There are multiple backdrops here, and I choose this XY grid as my backdrop. Click onto it, and the backdrop will reflect on the stage area. This is called sprite. Sprites are the objects or characters that perform actions. This is the sprite info pane. This area enables you to rename the sprite. The reason I choose this backdrop is to enable you to understand the X and Y axis. Right now, the sprite is at the position of X is 0, Y is 0. By changing the number, you will see the sprite changes the position in the stage area. These eyes here shows you the visibility of the sprite. The sprite will always be shown. We will not be using this function, but we'll be touching on this in the later lessons. Click onto the number here and it allows you to change the size of the sprite. We will not use this function much, and I will teach you how to set the size of the sprite in the later lessons. This function here is showing you the direction of the sprite is pointing to. Can you see it's turning? By default, when you create a new project, there will always be a cat here. If you are not using this sprite, you can click on the dustbin icon here. Click on it and it will be gone. Now you do not have any sprite. To add a sprite, move your cursor to this button and you have 4 different selections to choose your sprite. This magnifying glass enables you to choose a sprite from a library in Scratch. This paint enables you to create your own sprite. Click on this sprite and you will have a random sprite from the Scratch library. And this will allow you to upload an image from your computer as a sprite. Now, we click the magnifying glass and search for the sprites. There are the multiple sprites here, different categories, and I will choose the ghost as my sprite. This is a script area where your blocks are dragged to and assembled. How to identify whether you are selecting a stage or sprite? See the top right corner here of the script area. This allows you to check whether are you selecting the correct sprite or backdrop to code. These are the block palettes. This is where all the code blocks exist. Instead of writing lines to code, we'll use blocks to program. The code blocks can tell a sprite or backdrop to perform certain actions. Click on the code pane here, and you will see different types of codes in different colors. Motion is in blue section. It defines the position and movement of the sprites. When stage is selected, there will be no motion blocks available. Make sure you select the sprite if you are doing the code for the sprite. Most of the time, we will be dragging the code blocks to script area for our sprite instead of a backdrop. Looks is in the purple section. It changes the appearance of the sprites. It also gives the ability to apply graphic effects and change of the costumes. What is the costumes? Click on the costume pane beside the code pane at the top left corner. For this sprite I have chosen, you can see it has 4 different costumes and 4 different names. All sprites have at least one basic costume. At this page, you are able to edit the sprite by using different tools here. Let me demonstrate some of the tools for you to understand. After editing, this whole thing here will be considered as one costume of the sprite. Let's delete the unwanted costumes away. Move your cursor and click on the dustbin here, and it will be gone. To add more costumes, move your cursor to this button here, and you will have 4 different selections to choose your costume. This magnifying glass enables you to choose a costume from a library in Scratch. This paint enables you to paint your own costume. Click on this surprise and you will have a random costume from the Scratch library. And this will allow you to upload an image from your computer as a costume. Now, we click the magnifying glass and search for the costume. Here has all the costumes from all the sprites. Example, when you see A, B, C, D. It means the sprite AB has 4 different costumes. And for Amon here, has only 1 costume. Choose your desired costume here. After selecting, click on it and it will be added as your second costume. Now, let's go back to the block palettes. Do you still remember where to click? Yes. Go to the top left corner here and click on the code pane. Sound is in pink section. It enables your games or animation to have sound effect. Click on the sound pane here at the top left corner. From this page, we know the sound is space ripple. We can play the sound by clicking the play button. You can edit this sound by using different functions here. Alternatively, we can search for other sounds too. To choose other sounds, move your cursor to this button and you will have 4 different selections. This magnifying glass enables you to choose a sound from a library in Scratch. This will allow you to record your own sound or voice. Click on this surprise and you will have a random sound from the Scratch library. And this will allow you to upload a music from your computer. Now, we click on the magnifying glass and search for more sounds. Move your cursor to play the sound without clicking it. After hearing your desired one, click on the sound and the sound will be added. Go to the code pane again and we'll be able to see the 2 sounds are now available for you when you click the drop-down menu. Events is in yellow section. It will trigger scripts or series of code blocks. It consists mainly of head blocks, which start a script. We will use these codes to start coding. Control is in orange section. It dictates the flow of a project. Provides mechanism for looping different blocks and scripts. Sensing is in light blue section. These codes enable multiple sprites interact with themselves and or the backdrop. Operators is in green section. It allows various mathematical functions within a project. It can be used to modify variables and strings. Variables is used to store data in a project, for example, points or scores. My blocks. You can create your own blocks using this. Oh, do you spot the button here? It's the extension blocks. These blocks let you connect to hardware or access other block types. Let me demonstrate an example for you using some of the codes that I've just introduced to you. Remember, the computer reads the codes from top to bottom and left to right. The sequence of your codes is important. Let me demonstrate an example for you using some of the codes that I've just introduced to you. Remember, the computer reads the codes from top to bottom and left to right. The sequence of your codes is important when you are telling your sprite or backdrop to perform a series of actions. For my code here, you can see I'm telling my sprite that when this sprite is clicked, go to a random position and wait. This number in the code blocks can be edited. Now, after waiting for 3 seconds, it will go to the next costume and wait for another 3 seconds and play a sound. The stage area is where we can see our code to come to life. After we have done with our codes, we can click on the green flag to start or the red button to stop. So now, when my codes are ready, I will enlarge the screen by clicking this full screen control button. Now, my sprite is ready for an action. When I click this sprite, it will go to a random position and wait for 3 seconds. Change to the next costume. 3 seconds later, yes, it will play a sound. This is how I coded my sprite. Let's try it again. Click this sprite and go to a random position. 3 seconds later, change the costume and 3 seconds later, play a sound. Now, my demonstration has come to the end. It's time for you to do some hands-on exercise in Scratch.